Right,
at
here we go.
7:02 p.m. Okay. Secretary's report.
I didn't take minutes last time.
So we're going to waive the minutes.
Okay.
Okay. John's got the notes for the minutes. We'll waive them until next time.
Let's just call them.
Well, I have a report from him, but it doesn't include the minutes. Okay. So, motion to waive the minutes.
I second that.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. Vendors.
We have 32 checked in with about 7 in front of me. And I had to return 2 because they were food that we already had. And I called each one and they did not want to change their menu. And so I sent it back to them with their checks and said, thank you very much. We already have these food vendors.
So how many?
We don't have copies of foods.
Right.
If someone is doing, I don't know, cannolis, nobody else can do cannolis. If someone is selling hot dogs, nobody else can sell hot dogs. Because a lot of our nonprofits in town are depending on that. For like the Band Boosters do baked potatoes. We don't let anyone else do baked potatoes.
I thought the Boy Scouts did that.
No, we do fried dough.
Oh, it's fried dough, yeah. That's right.
Yeah. So
okay.
We try to make it fair for everyone because this is a big event and a big fundraiser for the nonprofits in town.
And they're already locked in with those foods, those nonprofits?
There can be more.
No, but I mean before we refuse these other vendors.
Yes, we already have. Because it is first come, first serve.
Yeah.
We already have certain ones. And so we already have a kettle corn, and another kettle corn tried to come in. We don't have anyone doing barbecue. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So I do try to reach out to many places to fill what we have spaces or what we're missing. One person.
The additional idea of that is not only do, like, we have nonprofits that do, like, you know, the Boy Scouts do fried dough, and it not only does that help the nonprofit, but also, you know, we're trying to diversify food. So if we have an event that has 25 people selling fried dough or hot dogs, then, you know, their choices are a little limited. So we want people to use their imaginations and come up with something that's like unique, you know, that would be different. It would add to the diversity, you know.
Yep.
We can't get anyone to do German food. It's an Octoberfest and we can't get anyone to do German food.
We had somebody that did it once.
We did it once and they sold out.
And they sold out of food, you know, by like 2 o'clock. But
was that a non-profit?
No, they weren't.
They did like a food truck.
No, it was a trailer.
It was a trailer, yeah.
Yeah, we don't have food trucks.
Yeah, that's right. It was a trailer, and we had actually it was a real tiny trailer. We even put them up like next to the beer garden area, and they did well. They sold out.
The trailer was adorable. It was absolutely adorable. It was perfect for our event. They sold out, and then they never came back. So when that happens, we just go in search of others. We had a smoker that came in, and they did fantastic. But their company's gotten large, so I just don't think they have the time.
And they do. We reached out. They were considering doing ours, but they only have one unit. And they went out to another event. They do another event now too. So.
Okay.
That's where we are.
Okay.
Anything else? Vendors?
No.
Yeah, a little early.
Okay.
Okay, so one of the major things that we have to do is the scholarship award. We have a bunch of applications in.
A through E, right?
Huh?
A through E?
A through E?
Yeah.
Yes, and we refer to them like that so that we don't talk about names specifically. You know? So now it's open for discussion. Hopefully you've reviewed them all.
I've printed them, I've reviewed them,
Now,
I've made my...
John Menard, part of the reason why, you know, this is because this is a major thing for tonight. He's not at tonight's meeting because he's had to recluse himself from this because he has a relative in the running here.
Mm-hmm.
So that he is not going to be part of this selection.
Okay.
So,
Well, I would like to state, when I go over the applications, it's not always how I read every single application all the way through. And then I make my little piles and then narrow it down. But I don't always go for the one who has the best grades.
Right.
That's not the most important to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I had narrowed it down by their references, their letter that they turn in, and their
essay.
rights, but also their community service. That's important to me.
Yeah.
So, to give back. So I do have my selection, if I remember what the letter is.
Okay.
Are you thinking of a vowel or a consonant?
Did you want to look at the?
Yeah, turn it over and slide. I'm pretty sure I remember the letter. Thank you.
Those are all of the applications.
I just gotta look for the name. We had some good applicants this year.
We did.
And we had them from
We have
3 different schools,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
That was part of my process.
We had them from 3 different schools, but they're all part of the Douglas.
Right.
Um,
Douglas residents.
yeah, they're all Douglas residents.
Yep.
I was correct in my thoughts. Thank you.
Is it a vowel or a consonant?
Okay, so have you you decided?
Yeah.
Okay, I've decided. So let's start with
E.
E. So we have 1 vote for E.
Alright, so my process was similar to Mary's, where it wasn't necessarily about the grades. Community service was a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
The other, like, this is my second scholarship year.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, we selected a young woman that went to Douglas Public School. And that was part of my factor this year because, like, looking at it, it's like Douglas residents can go to several schools.
Mm-hmm.
So to keep it enticing and promising for other students who are Douglas residents but go to other schools, I looked at it that way. So I chose a male student this year that goes to Whitensville Christian. So I went with...
Okay, don't do that.
Oh, went to
Give us a letter, please.
That's what the letter E is for.
Yeah, I went to E.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, to keep it so that, you know, it's not, it doesn't feel like it's such a tight thing. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
It's for any Douglas student resident.
Yep. So that was my reason.
Even homeschool. It doesn't matter as long as they're...
It doesn't matter. It's
Yeah.
got a Douglas resident and yes. Community service is a big thing for me as well. And I read and reviewed all of them. They were actually all great applicants, every one of them.
Yeah.
And if we had more than 1 scholarship, then, you know, there's others deserving as well. Okay, but I also selected E.
Okay.
So it's a unanimous vote. Okay. So I guess that
You will contact them.
I will contact the school because they like to know these things ahead of time. So I will contact that school for their
For their award night?
award night, and then, based on that, the award night, we won't be here, we'll be on,
Are you sure? Did you check their award night?
I will check it
Okay.
to be sure. And then if I can't attend it,
Mhm. It'll just depend on the date, like if
yeah,
I'm
it would
traveling with
depend on
work,
the date.
then,
We'll figure it out,
yeah.
okay?
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I went last year and
Yeah,
kind of know what it's about, so.
yep. Awesome. All right, so that order of business is done. Let's go on to the next thing. I got things in motion for the beer garden. I started the paperwork on that, so we're gonna have Greater Good again. I started the application process for our permit. They don't usually vote on that until like the last 2 or 3 selectmen meetings before the event.
Mhm.
You know, they wait until like September to do that, one of the September meetings,
Okay.
but you know, at this point, that's kind of easy to do,
Okay,
right?
as long as it goes well.
Huh?
As long as it goes well.
Yeah, so a lot of this, a lot of the stuff that we do, like when, like for, you know, it's just all a matter of, you know, doing the same stuff we did last year, pretty much.
Okay.
And then, well, soda. Somewhere along the line, we're gonna have to figure out the soda thing.
Yeah.
Maybe get it all cleaned up, set up,
Yeah.
test it again,
Mhm.
and, you know, pick out, see what we have for inventory for flavors,
Yep.
and then decide what we're gonna do. on
Yeah,
that.
and all those parts were labeled, and I have the printouts that are laminated of how
Yeah.
to set it up, so
Oh,
it
yeah,
should,
so be easy to set up this
should be
time.
easy, yeah.
Yeah. I have.
Less anxiety.
Huh?
I had so much anxiety, like,
I
come
have-
on, please work.
I have all of the, you know, the hoses and all of that stuff, and the tanks, and, you know, what we had before.
Okay.
The only thing that we got from somewhere, we borrowed from Keith, was the CO2 tank.
Yep.
And we're just gonna get one of those.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, it doesn't take much. It was like one tank, and it never goes like more than a quarter of the way.
I know it. You
So-
don't use much, yeah.
I
Okay.
thought we borrowed one from Greater Goods last year.
Greater Good brought one, but we never used it.
Okay.
So they had
we-
an extra one in case we needed it.
Are theirs the same size, like the small?
It was a little
things?
smaller, but,
Okay.
you know, it was, you know, the one we had was like, I don't know, that big or something, and theirs was a little narrower and probably about that high, but that
No,
would've been
the
fine,
CO2
too.
tanks were only like this high. The
Oh,
ones that
Yeah,
that we
theirs
had.
was, then that's what they had. They had,
Okay.
so they had one of those,
Alright.
yeah.
We need to check to see if Mr. Liam will be doing it, or if he'll be off to college in
Yeah,
Arizona.
I think that was the.
Okay.
Yeah, well, so we're gonna have to, that'll be one thing that we have to add to our volunteer list is,
Yeah.
a team to run
Yeah.
the soda jerk.
And I have some volunteer input as well, or updates.
Okay,
So I reached out to the junior and sophomore class advisors late last week. I sent them an email just introducing myself and letting them know that, you know, we're looking to, you know, get more involvement, and we can help sign off on the kids' community hours, set up, dismantle. We can also work with, you know, any fundraising events that they, you know, might have in mind. So just waiting on a reply if that's something that they're, you know, willing to reach out on.
what was their reaction?
Well, I don't have one yet.
Oh.
I'm waiting for a reaction or reply.
Well, I was wondering, did they show interest, did they?
Well, no, I reached out late last week, so I haven't heard back yet. I
Yeah,
know
see, Yeah, so we don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if I don't hear anything, I would say by late this week, like by Thursday, I'll probably just reach out again.
Yep.
But I did have a contact at the school that did put me in the right direction to who to speak with, so.
That was the junior and sophomore what, honor society?
No,
No.
the
Class advisors.
class advisors.
Okay.
So they're actually faculty members. So they follow them through the 4 years.
We used to have, way back when, we've been on this for what, 26, 27, 28 years?
Yeah.
All 4 classes from the high school used to have a booth.
Mhm.
And if you did it right, they made a lot of money. And out of the whole class, every student would only have to do an hour or two, maybe. And you have two or three at a time.
Yep.
And they could raise a lot of money. They did super well. They just haven't wanted to do it in the last 10 years. Seniors or juniors have SATs. So that's the dilemma
Mhm.
on that day. But we used to contact the 8th grade going into the freshman year, so they were already talked to prior to the year ending of 8th grade, so they could start thinking amongst their friends of what they wanted to do. We've gone to the high school, Tony and I, a couple years ago just to talk to the classes, and they just don't seem to be interested in raising money. They have their thoughts, their plans, and they go in that direction.
Okay. Well, I didn't think of reaching out to the freshman advisors, so I'll do that.
Yep.
Well, the one's a freshman now, he'll be the
They'll
sophomore,
be right,
Yeah.
right.
sophomore class.
Yeah. So it's always a
Yep.
step ahead.
Yeah, and the 8th
so.
grade will be going into freshmen, but we had a lot of, the last couple of years, 8th grade volunteers.
Mhm.
We had a lot of those. So that worked out well.
Yeah, we had a few. They weren't 8th grade, but I think there was 7th grade that were kind of last minute. But we had some of them, and then we had more from other schools. So.
Because they have to do community service as well.
Mhm.
And they get it done in a couple of hours, because they don't have to do much time, but just the cleanup after the event is an hour.
Mhm.
So they can enjoy the day and then help clean up, and they've got an hour and a half right there.
So yeah, like I said, if I don't hear back by later this week, I'll reach out again probably on Thursday.
Mhm.
So.
Okay,
Does anyone know if John's gonna ask his school to volunteer like he did last year? He usually gets a few.
John?
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't done any work on that yet. John's report is this. Right now, he's working on the master schedule for entertainment. He's trying to book the Britwits back to main stage. I don't know if you've ever seen them. They're awesome. They play all the British music, Beatles, and so he's trying to get them back. He's reaching out to Valley Tech to see if they're interested in doing robotics again, and he's still trying to hunt down a living statue. Those are kind of the things that we had given him at the last meeting to try to do. So I guess he's on track with all of those so
Okay.
far. I think traffic is going to be the same way we did it last time. It seemed to work. It was the same as we did the year before that, which worked.
Yeah.
With the only exception is we didn't have the hayride going up the street. It rained, so traffic was off anyway. So we didn't really have. It was busy all day, but we didn't really have a huge crowd all at once, like we have when the weather's warm.
Yeah. Okay.
So, what do we want? Do we want to reach out and get a hayride? Do we want a hayride?
They cost a lot of money.
Yeah, I think our nays for this past year was the money portion plus the unpredictable weather portion. You know, because the money's the money regardless of the weather.
Yep.
And if it doesn't,
True.
if Mother Nature decides to rain on our
Yep.
Octoberfest, well,
They did donate half the cost, but the other remaining half was still up there.
right.
Yeah, well, last time they weren't donating half the cost, they wanted the full 1,200.
Oh, yeah, that's a
And
no.
that's why we said,
Yep. No, sorry.
Well,
Yeah.
let's not do that. And then ultimately we didn't need it anyway because it rained,
Yeah.
till 10 o'clock.
What are the odds of trying to use the Elder bus? It's a nice bus, but I don't
Sitting
know.
outside.
Huh? It is outside. It's a nice bus. Fits quite a few people.
But I asked a question. I asked the question of I think it was Matt. I can't remember. I asked somebody the question. The problem with it is it's not registered.
Oh, they're not using that now still?
I guess not. It's been parked there unmoving for a while. They don't use it. It's not registered and not insured was the answer that I got when I asked the question. So we can investigate that again, I think, but I'm pretty sure that was the response.
All right, well, we'll investigate that, but in the meantime, we'll try to come up with something else.
I did reach out to like Knight's Limousine. They have like the 20-person bus or whatever. This was last year when we got the hayride price of $1,200. I figured if you're gonna pay $1,200, let's get a loan. But they were more money than that.
Yeah.
I was hoping to get them to do, to underwrite some of it for advertising purposes, but that didn't.
I know there's.
I couldn't make that. Sale.
Dynamic Douglas is always like, who provides rides to the airport? It's always popping up.
No, I know, but it would allow that. I thought it would allow them to be seen.
Mhm.
They'll have and they could give out business cards, and, But that's the price that they would. I would like to do something like a hayride or a trolley or.
Yeah.
There's a lot of towns that use a trolley, but I'm wondering how expensive they actually are.
Yeah, they use it for the chain of lights.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, Sutton and Millbury use those.
Okay. It's not like they're going far.
Right.
I guess we also have to reach out to the Soldiers Field guys to see if for parking.
I mean, to me, that's been a great parking solution
Yeah,
the past few years.
it is, and they do it for donations, and
Yeah.
I don't know how they do financially, but they always have a ton of cars parked there, so,
I've always heard they've done a fantastic job.
yeah.
So, do we want half the parking lot of St. Denis? They don't allow the bottom parking lot, but they allow us to use the upper
Yeah,
parking
we'd
lot
ask-
if need
we'd-
be.
Yeah, we'd ask for, to use that again. Yeah,
What have we parked there? Is that where some
it's
of the
overflow
vendor?
parking,
Okay.
like if we need additional parking.
It's quite the walk, but
Right. Yeah. Yeah, but those who need assistance, you can drop them off right downtown, and then you can continue down, to park the car. So
yeah.
it's not too bad. Go.
Okay.
I had another thought when I was going to the transfer station this weekend. I know we have a challenge every year with sponsors. There's only so many businesses in town that are willing to contribute, but I mean I'm forever seeing contractors from town at the transfer station. I mean, is there a way that we can get a list of contractors that live in Douglas and reach out to them?
Sure, why not?
My thought was like, what if we had like a contractor's pavilion or something, like not a pavilion, but like a tent that we could give them some space to, it's not a full commitment of a site or of a street spot, but if we give an opportunity to have their cards displayed and maybe they have a rep there to kind of talk to people, like an opportunity if you have a painting project coming up and we've got all these cards of painters, we've got painters in that area.
Something like a bulletin board with a whole
kind of, but it could have an interactive, right?
It could be a 10 by 10 vendor site, and whoever helps sponsor the event, they'll get a site.
No.
No, they'll share a site.
Yeah, they can anyway, but.
Yeah, my thought was instead of them having like a spot on the street kind of thing, because they're always hard to come by and we're running out of them. But if we found a spot like is on the side of like the library kind of thing next to the soda thing, like if there was like a tent that we had there, a couple of tables, they had their cards out there or had some pictures of their work there, and people could take cards if they were interested, or they could stand there and talk to someone.
It's a good idea.
Yep.
Like a limited, not a full-on commitment kind of thing. If they want to just leave cards, great. If they wanted to do more, they could do more.
Okay.
And maybe there's just a nominal fee for that, but it gives them that audience of, however many hundreds or thousands of people, and there's this one spot where they all are, like, you get a project coming up, okay, let's head over there and get some cards. Or speak to someone.
Yeah. How do we go about contacting those contractors?
Right.
Call the town hall.
Okay. So I mean that was the thing, is like if we can get like a master list, then with that it's just reaching out to them.
That's a great idea. So who's gonna do that?
I can do it. And maybe later this week we can kind of talk about it a little bit more to iron out like sort of what it would entail or involve, and and then from there figure out what type of commitment it is financially, and with that could be a follow-up when I get that list.
I think it's a great idea to help promote our own people from town.
Yeah.
All right.
Give Shine Construction a call. Now, I know they're in Uxbridge, but they've been doing a lot of work in town, and they've done fantastic work for the Boy Scout troop.
They have helped a lot of nonprofits with their contract work. So it's not just, they do a great job on people's and businesses' homes or buildings, but they are very helpful with nonprofits. So I'm sure there's a lot of others that are also.
It's just that we've had direct contact with these guys, so they're pretty responsive for nonprofits.
Okay. And I mean, they all have an opportunity to get their own space, but I mean, if not, if there's a second tier kind of thing that they could, test it out and see, hey, this is actually helping our business. Next year we'll step it up. We'll get our own space or something, but gives them an avenue to reach out to that crowd.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have also had requests for more children's games. We came up with the basketball toss last year for the teenagers.
Yeah.
It seemed
And
to do pretty well.
Yeah, I had to count those tickets. That was crazy.
so, well, that's good. but we have had requests for more things for children to do. Now, Second Congregational, they have their 5 spaces up front, and they do a lot of free things for the children to do, little crafts and stuff like that. So that's fantastic. People like that a lot. But we have had people requesting games for the smaller children to do. So I'm just putting it out there on video that we need vendors that are willing to do children's games. What happens a lot of times is that some people will take up vendor spaces for a couple of years, but once their company's doing super well or doing well, they don't find the need to come back and promote their company because they're doing well. But then we've had some vendors that come back year after year after year, and they do well also, but they like to come back.
Yeah. Yeah, some use it as a platform, and others it's more of just an annual tradition, and they look forward to it.
Yeah, some of them was like, hey, it's nice to see you once a year, blah, blah, blah. Who's going to contact InGear about the antique cars? Tony, you want to do that?
Yep.
All right. Does that mean we have to reach out to, who reached out to Rhoda last time? Was it you or John?
It was John.
Must have been John. Can you, we'll send John a message?
Yep.
Okay.
Now, the cars didn't come because it was raining,
Right.
but we had it all set up.
And the tenants in that building were very disappointed the year that we had to move the antique cars to another spot, and they were quite upset because they don't mind the early morning cars coming in. They enjoy the whole day, and they love the antique cars like right there in that parking lot, and they live there. And so they had come up to me, how come it's moved, where is it, we really, really like it. And so, as far as I know, it's the same tenants.
Yep.
How many cars have we had there? Like, what's the max that you can fit
Antique
there?
cars?
Yeah.
The most we've had in there was 20. No,
That's a tight
that's
fit.
tight.
Okay.
Hey, but we've had 20 cars in there.
Okay.
And we usually
They
don't.
usually 10 to 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And InGear stays right there all day. They have their Easy Up booth right there.
They do a prize.
Oh,
They,
okay.
Yep. They do some kind of prize system or whatever, and then, you know, they make it so that you can vote for, you know, the public that goes in and sees them and stuff. They have like some kind of a voting system or whatever. And then they award, you know, ribbons and stuff, you know, like you would get at a car show.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So they've been doing that since we've been doing the antique cars there. So.
I have reached out to Harbros for sponsoring the hat table. And it's the same every year. You have to keep contacting, keep calling, keep calling, keep calling. And eventually you'll get a hold of them and I need a yes or no. Then they have to talk to the bosses. And then I have to call them back. And then eventually I get an answer yes or no. And they sponsor the hat table and we're kind of out of hats. So we need at least, I like to have 200 to 300.
Yeah, there was a shift last year or this past year that they were using way too many hats. It was a group of younger teens.
Yeah.
We'll have to stay on top of that.
Sometimes, you know, even though we train, you know, the ones, like, especially when we first start, we go over how we're supposed to run it and that type of stuff, the person gets there. The problem is that they change shift.
Yeah.
You know, and then the second or third person that took over, you know, they don't, you know, the person didn't tell them what they were supposed to do, and I didn't know that. So you know, they did their own thing, and you know, it didn't really last as long as it's supposed to,
Yeah.
because, you know, their goal was to get rid of them, so they didn't care if they were giving out 10 at a time.
Maybe
You
we
know?
can make a sign that's right on the table. Well, I really don't want to have strict rules with that, because we have kids of all ages that go up to the table to decorate a hat, and they've done it for years, so they have their own little collection.
Yeah,
And I just don't want to.
but we had one person that took like, you know, 15 hats and, you know, different colors and.
Yeah, that needs
and
to
then,
that needs to
and of
not
course
happen.
We're out of hats at 3:30 because of that, you know.
We can only be in so many places at once, so maybe we could make a nice sign that goes on the table or in one of those little plastic frames that say, please, one hat per person to share with others, whatever.
Okay.
And they also give away little pumpkins every year, and that's fantastic. So, still trying to get them to bring their antique truck, and every year it's like, oh no, sorry, I'll get it there eventually. And they're really nice people. It's just hard getting an answer.
Do you want to get the Carlsdiner pig bus? I saw it out in Oxford a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
I went to Home Depot, and I was coming back from Home
Yeah.
Depot, and I saw the pig bus.
You mean in terms of like getting people from the parking lot to the venue?
No, it's just there to decorate to be
thought
fun.
that is.
Oh. Well, no, I was gonna say I don't know if it's meant for that much. I don't know if it's meant for that much transit.
Huh?
I don't know if it's that roadworthy for that many trips.
Maybe
That's
not.
a whole different
I
type
think you
of
can go
insurance.
from here in Oxford to there in Oxford to here in
Yeah.
Oxford, sit for a week.
Right. Well, we can.
We did have the pig bus come here one time. They just drove it here and
Just
parked
parked
it
it.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just so that people could, you know, look at the pig bus.
Right.
Yeah.
There was
But it
one
was
time.
also advertisement for them.
We also had one time some person brought like little go-karts, adult go-karts, whatever, and the kids were allowed to climb and sit on them. It's hard to. They either go out of business, they move, or whatever. So it's like you try to remember. Okay, what works? What do we want to bring back? What do we don't want to bring back? Should we try to get a car from Thompson Speedway? I don't know if they have fancy cars or.
Well, they do. They have the race cars. You just get a race driver that wants to come and show up.
Oh,
But it's a good idea.
There's a
If you
contact.
Huh?
we have a contact.
Don't call Thompson Speedway.
Chief Furno.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. He like works. He works. He's one of the like pit crew for one of the cars at Thompson.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I kid you not.
We did not.
It's on
He's
on
got
Facebook.
got a secret life we don't
Yeah.
know about.
Yeah. Yeah. Truth revealed. There we go. Yeah.
It would be awesome if we had a car, especially
That'd be cool.
especially you know because that's a Kodak now. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I have sent donation letters to them in the past. To see
Yeah,
if they'll
but that was
donate.
before we knew we had an inn.
Yeah. Okay, we'll see what we can do with
Get
that.
to know me.
Just so you know, Steve gave you away. Well, that was a good statement. Okay. Car
Just don't
and
call the fire department when your house is burning.
Right. Yeah.
He's off
Give
at
us-
Thompson,
give us a
racing a
few.
car. Okay, that would be good. That would be something cool.
And at 4 o'clock,
It
you
would
do
be-
burnout.
It would be way different. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be. We would. It would
So
be
if
nice
you
to have
could-
something different.
If we could get, I don't know, like a car, 2, or, you know, 1 would be cool, but if you could get the driver here, you know, 2, that would be awesome.
It'd be even better if they let people sit in it. The odds of that are pretty slim, but you never know. Well, you get one of the racing cars and then you get one of the demolition cars. You know, the ones that get all crushed to crap.
You can just go pick one of those up behind the fire department. Because
That would be cool. We'd have to find a space for that, but that
We'll
could be
find a
super
space.
cool.
Let's find a space for the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll find a space for the car.
So what I'm looking for food, I'm looking for barbecue or smoked would be good. Someone who wants to do some type of German food. We already have sausages. You know, honestly, that's not really a German food. And of course, vendors. We have some ones that come back every year. Quality work, nice items, but we're always looking for something new.
Yeah.
I have a vendor form from a person who wants to do permanent jewelry, which is what she does is you either have a necklace or a bracelet, and there's no clip, take it off, clip, put it back on.
Didn't they do that last year?
She didn't come because of the weather.
Oh.
So we got the okay from the Board of Health and the fire department, as long as she follows the rules. That, I mean, I think it would be so cute for mother, daughter, best friends, whatever. They have matching bracelets, and she links it permanently. You'd have to break it to get it off with a pair of pliers, but they're very pretty. She does good work, and it would just be something fun for people to do. Don't you want a matching bracelet with your daughters?
Yeah, because now they're all full grown, so don't have to worry about cutting it off in 3 years.
But that's just something new we have. One of the new things.
I'm embracing it.
Yeah, I saw your pictures. They were gorgeous.
Why, thank you.
They look a little bit like Mama too, huh?
It was a good hair day for me.
I am looking for someone who would like to bring in antiques.
Antiques, like antique stuff?
Yeah. I think that would be fun. There's a lot of people that come that would be happy to look at antiques.
What about all the vendors that go up to the barn there?
Can try. We've tried Burnett. John tried the one in Manchog Mills, and we could try the one at the Douglas Flea Market. See what happens there.
Is Douglas Flea Market, they're open on Saturday, so they're probably open on
Yeah.
Octoberfest Day, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But, you know, much larger audience
You think?
where we are on that day.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing though, is that if they did a booth, right? Let's try to sell it this way. If they did a booth with some antiques there, okay, and then they could tell the flea market's open.
True.
Right?
You know, when you're done here, you can go up to the flea market.
So that,
Yeah.
isn't that like, it's like an anchor advertisement, right? In a crowd of 15,000 people, right? So, well, maybe we'll reach out to them and
Yeah, we can
kinda
always
sell
stop
that
it.
idea.
Yeah, we can stop in there.
Yeah.
Because I've tried for years to get Burnett Antiques in there, and she puts the note out to the vendors, and she even has a couple booths herself because she runs it. It's never happened. She personally doesn't have the time because she runs the business, but
What else new?
I'm trying to think of other things that I would love to have there. I don't know. Any thoughts, Sarah? No, not currently.
Trying to find a picture of the Secret Life. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, well, that's cool. Okay, we'll take that car. Oh, we will take that car. Oops, get out of there.
Yeah, he's like part of the pit crew.
Oh, they should bring the trophy with it. Come on. People don't have to sit in it. They can stand next to it and have their pictures taken. Wow, look at those tires. Oh, that's impressive. I like that.
And I have a family friend who also has a car that goes to this, and his daughter drives it. I could talk with him too, but I'd
All right,
rather,
so
I'd
we're gonna
rather
let
have first contact.
There you go.
All right.
All right.
All right.
All yours. Get the cars here.
I'm the idea guy.
Huh?
I'm the idea guy.
Putting your name next to contacting Chief Verno and Cousins. It would be also cool to have a female driver. That would be impressive for the young girls in town. They'd like that.
You know, they're showy, so it'll draw some attention. It'll be cool.
Yeah.
Does anyone know how the cookie person did? Up
Really?
near-
We go from race cars
Yeah.
to cookies?
Yeah, we do. Ask Tony's 30-something years.
You gotta follow the dancing squirrel.
You do. I was just gonna say that. You gotta follow the dancing squirrel. Wait till I start talking backwards, mid-sentence, and to me, I understand it. Why don't you? So, yeah.
I have 20-something years of interpreting all of that, so.
Yeah, well, you knocked off 12 years of that, dear.
Oh, okay.
It's like 32, 33. Yeah.
See? That's because I don't remember the other ones.
It's boy math.
He just wants to forget the others.
And so what about cookies?
Well, I was just wondering how she did. I called her last minute to come in, and she she was willing to be at the lodge, and she crossed the street 'cause she wanted to be on the other side of the street, which worked out well. I was just wondering how she did, if she'd be willing to come back. But
Was
I said,
she the gluten-free
yep,
cookie?
she did both. Yep.
I know her husband. I used to. He worked for a vendor of ours with my company, so I can ask him.
Okay.
I miss John. Yeah.
What we are going to do is probably next meeting, we will have a folder and sponsor letters and donation letters. How do you feel, Steve, if you go up for dinner, ask for the manager and say, here's a donation letter. If you'd like to offer one free meal with the purchase of a meal, John won't do it. Absolutely refuses. We're okay with it. We'll do it.
We've gone out to dinner like Longhorn or whatever, and we hit up the manager for some kind of, coupons or something.
Free appetizer or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
I'm still writing down the other things that
Okay, no.
I
We'll
volunteered
give,
myself for.
Yeah.
we'll give you the folder next time.
Yeah. It's all about trying to get prizes and stuff that we can.
What did I just sign up for? What was the other one?
Gluten-free cookies.
Gluten-free cookies, right?
There was one that did cannoli or something.
Oh, already signed up. Mr. Cannoli's coming back.
I was just gonna say, I did talk to them. They did well.
Yeah.
That. So they're on.
Yeah,
they're
we've got
on
the
come
kettle
back.
corn, we've got the guy with the french fries and the corn dogs and all that, fried
Yeah, he
dough,
wants to
cut
come
candy.
back.
Yep. The
So-
fire department will sign up, they just haven't yet. I did talk to a member of the police department and asked if their police association would like to have a table, and they just don't have enough workers or people to help man the table, which is sad.
That's because we get them booked out all day.
We do.
Yeah,
It's
we take
nice
the-
having them
yeah.
there.
We take the entire crew.
Well, also, I mean, between the police and the fire department walking around, it works out well.
Yeah, we get the police. The police are all busy. We've got a few walking around, but they're busy usually on the barricades.
Right.
You see a lot of fire department presence everywhere. The fire department are all over the place.
Well, that's important too,
Yeah,
because
so-
people see that and they feel safer, and
Yeah.
a lot of the ones that are thinking of misbehaving see the firemen come in their direction. It's like, yeah, no, changed my mind. And
Doesn't
We
matter. They got a badge on, so it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Yeah.
we still have a problem with bikes, scooters. You tell them to stop and walk. As soon as they think your head is turned, they're back on the bike racing down the street.
Yeah, we had to get involved in that a couple times last year. They do a lot of that, like in Extramart. We got to constantly go down there and, you know.
The in the Webster First parking lot, we had the trike thing.
Yep.
Yeah?
How did that do?
Did well.
Okay.
Well,
Why?
I was thinking as a another little kid activity, if we did like a touch a truck kind of thing, and maybe it was like some either construction vehicles or something, but obviously that takes up space. But I don't know, I thought that would be a decent spot if that was something that wasn't such a success or a money maker. But
It did really well since we did. We have little kids trucks now.
Right.
So not only do we have like the 4 big trucks, but we get little kids trucks, and so that was
and we own those, so now every time you do it,
every time we do it,
makes
it's
more money.
Yeah.
Right.
What's
Okay.
fun is to watch the adults race each other on the trikes.
Mm-hmm.
That's always fun.
So it's done pretty well.
Yeah.
It's just like the knocker ball thing. It's crazy.
I mean, what if we? Well, it's a little further away. What if we did like touch a truck down by the Soldiers Field, like down at Soldiers Field?
That's out of the barricade. We wouldn't be in charge of that. They would have to.
It could be a curiosity thing. I mean, they can do it when they park. There's big trucks and stuff, I suppose. But yeah, it's kind of like out of our purview.
Okay.
You know, we'd have to have somebody running that.
Right.
You know. And
Okay.
and outside of the anything that you put outside the barricade it's gonna end earlier, die earlier,
Right.
because when it gets to be like 2:30, 3 o'clock, and you got still got a crowd in here. There's two people down at the touch a truck.
I like the idea. I just wish we could figure out how to put it in it, because if it's
Yeah.
outside the barricade, our insurance doesn't cover them either.
Well, it depends on where it is. If we had like the farmer's market up at the school, we were shuttling back and forth.
Oh, okay.
That would have
yeah.
been covered. See?
True.
Because it's really still part of the event, as long as it's, if they're registered to us and they're part of the event, then it's still covered by insurance and everything. But being outside the barricade is just, it's like a remote thing that you really don't know what's going on up there all day,
And we have tried expanding it, but with the way the detours that we have to have, it's hard to expand, because we tried to expand down to include the picket fence. But because that's where the detour is, we were told, no, that's not gonna work. Even though we tried for a couple of times.
No, this was quite a while ago that we tried to do that. We've resigned ourselves to the size of it for the last 15 or 20 years.
Where? Behind the library, getting it down in there. 'Cause they park back there.
That's where you can put the race car.
That's where you put the race cars, behind the library?
Yeah.
Cookie Lady's in.
Just like that?
Just like that.
What?
Yay!
Yes, where does she have to go to apply? And thanks for reaching out. So.
Tell them to go online. Oktoberfest with a K. What? DouglasOctoberfest.com, I think. And she can just go look under vendors. And she'll need the Board of Health.
So.
Not me.
So who responded back?
That was the gluten-free cookie
The gluten-free
vendor.
cookie?
Yeah.
So I guess she did well, she wants to do it again.
Yeah. Yep. I might have said, we'll see if we can get you a little closer down towards Main Street, but...
Where was she before?
She was up near the... what is it? Up near the little triangle. Right up near here.
Oh, on Pleasant Street.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Sort of like right up near the entrance of the church, like
Mhm.
the back entrance.
Yeah, but by applying early, you because we do it in order, in order of the applications received.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
We have some that pretty much sign up like right before they leave
Mhm.
the last Octoberfest.
Yeah.
because they want to be in this spot, the one,
Yeah.
like those are the ones that have been in the same spots for the last 20 years.
Cool.
And then you have some that wait because they don't know what the weather's going to do.
Yeah.
So they think if they wait till the, till like the week before, that way they can get the 10-day forecast and at least get an idea on weather,
Mhm.
But you take a gamble when you do that because, now you're taking whatever spots we have left because all the other ones got booked before
Yeah.
August,
Cool.
I missed that. What did I miss?
Nothing.
Okay.
He had told me that it was the cookie person that texted because I asked him.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah, I just told them I'll send them all the information after the meeting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that'd be good.
When I have my phone on vibrate, the only ones that come through is my family, so that was my son. And when my kids call, and if it cuts through, sorry, I'm answering it, so. Okay, all's good.
If I call you, does it play the Love Boat?
well.
I love that show, come on now, it's my
They screen the
favorite
call
show.
and say, oh, that's only Steve.
It's the sound of the Titanic sinking.
No.
Brrrr.
Now, we didn't get a chance to do it last year, maybe, but we're gonna mention it again this year.
What?
We're gonna have to set a day, Saturday or weekend day, where we can get to those 2 units and pull stuff
Okay.
out,
Mhm.
look at the things that need to be repaired or cleaned,
Yeah. Yep.
and,
Yeah, when we say there was a lot of repairs after last year's dismantle, so yeah.
yeah. So,
Yeah, and the trains got damaged.
Yeah.
yeah, well,
People need to be more careful
We
packing
got
up.
plenty of awnings to set up to like set these things under and work out in the
well,
summertime.
you've already done that and dried them all out.
Right, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
if it's
It's
kind
always
of an
nice
off
to
day,
double check,
we could
yeah.
set some up and work underneath those if needed for shade.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay.
I think we already have a bottle for candy corn. I thought we had one.
Yes.
Believe it or not, that's a big hit. At my table, administration table, we have, I count with plastic gloves. I'm a safe person, so I do everything accurately. And I count all the candy corns that go in this container.
We
And
get like an unusual
Yeah.
container,
Right. Yeah, so it's harder to
Yeah,
sort of guesstimate.
and we fill it with candy corn, and they have to guesstimate it.
Yeah.
it's a free guess, and people love it. And then if nobody wins, their name and phone number goes in a hat or a box, whatever. And at the end of the day, if nobody's guessed the correct thing, we'll just pull a name out and call them up and say, hey, you won, come get it. So, oh, and
most of the time, someone nails it though. They
yeah.
guess the exact right number.
Yeah. One year we had a boot, a glass boot. It was super cool.
Yeah.
So, where did it go? Where did it go? Crap, I had something, I thought of it. Give me a minute, it'll be back.
Here's what you do. You find like a different shaped thing, and you show the candy corn like at the bottom, and then like halfway up, you wrap it in black.
You wrap it in what?
In like something black that they can't see it through, so they can't like determine how full it is, and then keep them on their toes.
Oh, so yeah, so like it's this high,
Right.
and then this high is covered
Is
with
blacked
black.
out, yeah.
So they don't
it
know
could
if-
be empty, that part of it, or it could be up to the top. Like, let's
Do you
raise,
know how many people would scream at me over that?
let's raise the bar.
Well,
Well-
you could get really bad, and in this glass container, right? You have another glass container upside down so that it didn't get filled up. So
Then you have to guess what's in the inner side of.
And it spins.
Oh, gee whiz, guys.
it
Okay.
doesn't have to spin, but or like in this glass container, you put a bottle of Coke in there and then fill up. So they're trying to guess the candy corns, and it's not exactly all candy corns.
Mm. And the Coke eats all the sugar, and it's just like this mess.
Ew. We were going to advertise that we're going to have a jack-o'-lantern pumpkin contest. Carving, yes. And we need like some paperwork that they have to sign, because they would have to understand that your pumpkin is going to be used as a decoration after the voting.
So they don't carve it and walk away with it.
No, they carve it
And
and,
bring it.
then bring it carved.
Oh.
Then we choose people to.
Yeah.
We're not going to do it. We're too busy, but we'll choose
Right.
some judges.
Yeah.
Where would you collect them?
I'll work on that. So, and then once that's done, then we use them for decorations. So we don't have to go chasing all over the place for pumpkins.
So how about if you did this? How about if you announced a jack-o'-lantern contest to be judged at Octoberfest, and have them drop them off before
What do you mean,
Somewhere.
Friday night?
Friday night or Thursday night or something?
They're going to
like that.
have to be placed inside, because I just don't want them damaged overnight.
Yeah.
So that
So-
bookstore is out of the.
They're out the end of this month, but that
Right.
doesn't mean by October they're not going to have someone else
Right.
in there.
Yeah.
We could have it inside we could talk to Justin to see if we could have them inside.
We can ask if people can drop off jack-o'-lanterns there for the contest.
Mm-hmm.
He did that with quilt contest once, so he might want to.
Oh, that was so nice. They
Yeah.
were so
So
pretty.
he might go along with the jack-o'-lantern contest. So we can ask him first. He should have first dibs.
They're usually
If-
closed on Friday.
If not, then we
Masons?
could ask the Jenks store. If not, okay, then we could ask the Council on Aging to have them drop them there. Okay? And then we can pull them, then we can judge them, right? And then assign winners and stuff. And then you wanted to use them as decorations, so we can bring the train down there, okay, to truck them up around the area to decorate.
Is it easier to have it at the Masons?
You can have them drop them off, well, if that person's not baking that weekend.
Oh, that's right. She is so. Oh, it smells so good when she bakes. Yeah, she'll be in there baking on Friday.
Or,
Or how many oars do we have?
well, you can drop them off at the Scout Hall. You might want to think about that one, okay? For a whole variety of reasons. But that's another
Okay,
place.
yeah.
That's another location.
Is it easy
Well,
enough to bring them on Saturday morning, early Saturday morning, to
Well, we
bring
can bring them
them.
down to an area somewhere, okay? Down there on Friday while we're doing setup. So we could, that can just be on our list of things that have to do on setup.
Okay. Thoughts, Steve?
None.
No, there's no thoughts. But if you wanted to use them for decorations on Oktoberfest Day, you're gonna have to get them earlier. You're gonna have to get them ahead of time, so that you can do the judging at 9 o'clock, or whatever time you want to do the judging, and then, or you can even do the judging like before Oktoberfest. Really.
I would think that you.
And then you've got a winner.
Yeah. What we can do is possibly everyone has to bring their pumpkins to a designated area for Friday's voting at 7 o'clock, by 7 o'clock. Because you'll have, as soon as we announce it,
Mhm.
till that Friday to bring them. And you have to bring the form that you sign stating that you know that we're going to use it for decoration the day of. And the winners could be on main stage or at the library, or so. I would think main stage. But
Yeah, well, we can actually use them, we can put in front of main stage, we can, set up an area where they're part of the decoration for main stage. Especially, like, I don't know, you want, however many, first, second, third, fourth, fifth place or something, I don't know. However, it depends on how many
Okay.
you get,
All right.
Jack-o'-lantern contest.
I think that would be so much fun. I think a lot of people, well, I'm thinking a lot of people may like it. Give them something else to do.
Yep.
Library. I don't know if the Jinx would want to do it.
No.
Um,
You also make it so that the jack-o'-lantern, because the jack-o'-lanterns light up, okay? They can't use candles.
Battery
It has to be
operated
the battery
only.
operated lights on.
Yes. Okay.
Battery.
People are creative, so
Some of them will do some awesome jobs.
has to be carved appropriately for families. This is a family event.
So, what would you do? What about prizes?
Pumpkin pie.
Your face lit up on that one. Well, it's usually ribbons, or we could come up with trophies.
Trophies? You can.
I'm looking at Steve for an answer. I'm okay with a ribbon or a trophy.
We do have some ribbons still. I don't know how many. But I'm sure that there can be, I'm sure that somebody makes pumpkin carving trophies. Right?
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, it went away. Oh, there it is.
Yep.
It's a jack-o'-lantern.
That's kind of
Yeah.
freaky looking.
On top of the Eiffel Tower.
And you get and you can carve it at Oktoberfest 2000.
Oh, yeah.
Works for me.
Yeah, how much are they?
$5 each.
Yeah, we could do that. I like the idea of Oktoberfest on it with the year. Cool beans. All right. That's easy enough. Trying to think of what other thoughts we had from last time. Anything new with, oh, that's last year. Oh, here we go. We do have someone who's willing to walk around in a costume.
Darth Vader?
He's got a lot of costumes. So, someone wrote in purple marker from the last meeting. Who took minutes last meeting?
I can't be trusted.
So it must have been John. Okay.
Let's see if we can get the Star Trek
Why,
Center
these are
in
his
here.
minutes and I ended up doing 4 pages. Okay. Half costumed person.
What else?
And he's coming up with newer costumes all the time. So, you gonna try to get Star Wars guys again?
Can we?
I don't know. We keep trying.
What would it called? The 7th Legion or something?
I don't know. I'm still contacting the drama team for doing the parade. And we wanted to add something to the parade. Come on,
You
Steve.
wanted to add what?
Something to the parade. Besides the puppets, we need to add something.
The race car.
Yeah.
First gear is a little tricky.
Got nice music playing, you got these really cute puppets playing with the people, and you got this revving engine.
The race car towed by Dawn on the train.
That'd be cute. Would we even want to consider adding into the parade? I don't want to be responsible for them before, after, during, kids decorating bikes.
If you have,
No.
if you
Okay.
bring the bikes downtown,
They'll be everywhere.
They're gonna be everywhere, all over the place,
Right.
and you got trouble with them riding around now. And you just brought them all to town.
I just wanted something fun to do for the kids, but I get it. That's so sad. We could always ask for kids to be in costume.
You could do a costume contest, right?
No,
Maybe not a contest, just kids in costume.
just you want to participate in the
Right.
parade, come in a costume.
Yep.
Has to be appropriate. You'll even get adults.
Right.
People,
Costume
kids
parade.
in costume, meet at this place, this time. And you'll march along with the puppets. I can tell you're thrilled down that end of the table. You're gonna run out of room on your envelope.
It's 2 sides. In a
Why
flap.
does he have paper down there?
In a flap.
I mean, it's just a thought. You don't have to go with that. I'm just.
That would be at the end of the event.
It's usually around 1 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
Midday.
We've had it at 10 o'clock before, the public
Yeah.
parade, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a thought. I mean, when I talk to the drama people, they may come up with their own thoughts. We used to have the Jenks people walking around in costume, and the best one was a little kid that was dressed from the 1800s, and he'd do a little dance in the street and put his hat on the ground, and people were putting money in his hat. He did fantastic. I will contact the Jenks store to see if they will have people walking around in costume. Any other thoughts?
Yeah. I want a street musician.
A what? Why?
I want, like somebody that sits there and plays plastic buckets.
Oh, that would be cool.
or, you know, or plastic pipes. You know, they play on pipes. It can just roll that out into like the middle of the street up at somewhere and play. Or they can, a good spot for that, because they don't have music there, is down like after the Wizard plays or something. You have guys set up plastic buckets and play the drums on plastic buckets. You know, that's fun to watch. You know?
Yeah.
We saw 4 kids, we had gone on vacation, we saw 4 kids, all with buckets, and they were fantastic.
They could be orange buckets.
Home Depot.
Home Depot buckets.
Tied into the pumpkin Octoberfest theme.
No, actually, they just kick over the bucket. They just kick over the buckets that we use for the dog race, okay, and play them.
We were also going to have.
We'll do a flash mob.
That'd be so cool.
Flash mobs are cool.
They were.
They were?
They were.
They're not cool anymore?
Yeah. When's the last one you've seen live?
I've
Or,
never
like,
seen one
lately?
live at all.
Well, not live, but like, when's the last time
Yeah.
you've seen one that happened recently?
We're also going to have a best vendor. Are we voting on that? It's easier if we vote on it instead of the
Yeah.
crowd, then we gotta count it all.
Like, overall?
Yeah.
How are we gonna vote when we're busy doing all the other things?
What, you do get a break, when, like, you have to go to the
yeah?
bathroom, take a 5-minute break and look at all the vendors.
Yeah, and I'm using the bathroom break to go to the bathroom.
Well,
I should be going to the bathroom now, but no, I'm looking at vendors.
as you're walking down the street eating your hot dog. And then we will announce it at, 3 o'clock. You just come to me at my booth and tell me your vote.
Yeah.
I don't always get to leave my booth either, you know. First thing in the morning, though, I'm putting up little squabbles, or big squabbles.
Yeah.
People that know better bring a 12 by 12 and they think it's funny to encroach into someone else's property, and then after the event they come and yell and scream at me. I'm like, why don't you come get me in the morning? I'm right there. So, yeah, okay. Sarah wants to join the committee. I put that on video. I'd love for her to be in the committee. Okay. I'm on page 3. Is there anything else?
My brain hurts.
Well, ask your family what their thoughts, what they'd like to see, what they do like to see already that we have, and what they think we should bring into.
It's like homework?
No, you just have to.
Send me homework.
Yeah. It's just because I know Becky doesn't like to volunteer, but it is nice to see her real quick during the day. I see her a couple times a year. But your daughters are more willing to volunteer a little bit of time.
Well, my oldest daughter will be almost ready to deliver.
Ooh,
Yeah.
another grandchild.
Yeah.
Girl or boy?
We won't know till this Saturday.
Nice.
Gender reveal.
Oh, you're gonna have those gender reveals that start fires, and those are the most foolish things in the world. Makes people happy, but not at the cost of hurting other people. Okay, so Tony sponsored letters going out.
Yes.
I will start donation letters.
I already sent out major sponsor letters. I already got back 2 of them
Wasn't Steve going after the envelope place?
from Maytown.
I haven't, but I can
Okay.
figure
Because
that out.
we've tried and it hasn't worked, so if you're okay with that.
I will send you a new copy of the sponsor letter.
You mean the envelope place? It's not an envelope place?
No, the upstairs is not an envelope place, the bottom is an envelope place.
Oh.
Imagine working below that. Especially when it smells of skunk. Alright. Because I would like to come up with enough money for where we need to fill in for prizes. I mean, I'll send out sponsor letters, but a lot
See if
of...
we can get Thompson Speedway to be a sponsor.
Have you sent us a sponsor letter for this year?
I have not. I sent out sponsor letters to the ones that I already do, like Unibank.
Right, but can you forward me one?
I can forward you
Yeah.
the new one.
Alright.
But while you're working out the card thing, see if you can get Thompson Speedway. I've never approached them before.
Yeah,
See
I
if-
mean,
See if they could be a sponsor.
yes, and then when they could have a car there and then a vendor site as well.
Okay.
We could put them, if the Mason's Lodge isn't busy, we could put them up on the lawn as long as they're not dripping anything. That's a good place for them.
Race cars that drip things are bad.
I know. I'm just being honest and you know.
They don't, race car drivers don't want their cars dripping.
You had one job.
Okay, so we do have some sponsors that we've heard back from already. So, all right, if anyone can think of any other places that we can get to sponsor. When we go to other events, we look at who their sponsors are. Is what it is. We do our best and we're trying to do more. Just need input.
Yeah.
Thoughts from people. Okay. Are we done?
Okay.
Oh, I don't even have my watch on.
Take care.
Well, I'll do this one.
She doesn't look up.
I did. I've been looking at it all night, not even paying attention to it either.
What's that thing?
Yeah, well,
Okay, let's,
it's not digital. I can't figure it out. It's got arms.
Too much math.
Are we good?
we're good. Next meeting. Monday, June 10th, work for everybody?
Should work, yes.
Either the 10th or the 17th.
Let's start with the 10th and
Huh?
we'll start with the 10th and see how that
Okay.
goes with John too.
That works.
We good?
We're good.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're done.